Number 10. Goliang Tunnel is one of the most famous tunnels in the world. It's 1.2 kilometers long, 5 meters tall and 4 meters wide, located high in the Taihang Mountains of the Henan Province, China. The tunnel, carved along the side of and through a mountain, opened to traffic on May 1, 1977. It's quite a tourist attraction, giving the village a little too much unwanted attention, but some very welcome revenue. It took 5 years to build it, 4,000 hammers, 12 tons of steel. The tunnel is pretty scary with 30 windows of various sizes and shapes, and it has been dubbed as the road that does not tolerate any mistakes. Most accidents in the tunnel are primarily caused by the neglect of the traveler. The tunnel, which sits 15 feet high and 12 feet wide, is only realistically enough for one-way traffic. Number 9. Kabul-Jalalabad Highway. Kabul-Jalalabad Highway is a section of A01 National Highway, with a length of 143 kilometers, linking Kabul and Jalalabad, Afghanistan. This road follows the Kabul River Gorge for 64 kilometers in Taliban territory. The two-lane Kabul Gorge Highway runs along 600-meter-high cliffs. Fatal traffic accidents often occur in this area, mainly due to reckless driving. It's a real challenging road and a true test of your vehicle and your stamina because the road abounds in twists and turns with wheels sometimes hanging above the precipice. The difference in altitude between Kabul and Jalalabad is approximately 1,200 meters, and the road passes through some extremely mountainous terrain. Most people die, and most cars crash, while zooming around one of the impossible turns that offer impossible views of the crevasses and buttes. Many roads have been dubbed most dangerous, but the 65-kilometer stretch of highway from Jalalabad to Kabul has more claim than most, snaking through Taliban territory. But it's not the threat of insurgency that makes highway so dangerous. It's a combination of the narrow, winding lanes that climb up to 600 meters through the Kabul Gorge and the reckless Afghan. Number 8. The James Dalton Highway is a gravel highway running for 414 miles between the Elliott Highway just north of the city of Fairbanks and Deadhorse near the Prudhoe Bay oil fields and the Arctic Ocean. The road, usually referred to as the Dalton Highway and signed as Alaska Route 11, was initially built in 1974 as a supply route for the Trans-Alaska Pipeline System and is named after James Dalton, the Alaska-born engineer who directed and supervised its construction. The road itself is very primitive in places, and small vehicle and motorcycle traffic is highly discouraged. It's the longest stretch of serviceless road in North America with no gas stations, restaurants, hotels, or any other basic services. The road reaches its highest altitude as it crosses the Brooks Range at Atigan Pass, at an elevation of 4,739 feet, 1,444 meters, above the sea level. Traveling this farthest north road involves real risks and challenges, and it can be dangerous, because the highway is. Number 7. The Skipper's Canyon Road, located in the southwest of New Zealand's South Island, is today one of New Zealand's better-known scenic roads and unbelievably scary as it's totally narrow and different to maneuver your car. The road was built during the gold rush, when a precarious pack track was the only access to Skipper's Township and the upper Shotover diggings. Constructed between 1883 and 1890, the Skipper's Road was considered a major engineering feat in its day. Skipper's Canyon was formed by glaciers approximately 25,000 years ago as loose gravel rock and gold ground its way down the valley. In this glacial process, ton after ton of precious gold was deposited throughout the canyon. There are some basic rules for this road. The road is narrow and prone to slips. Caravans and trailers are not suitable on this road. In winter, snow can close the road. Some vehicles are not insured past this point. No turnaround for 6 kilometers. Tourist traffic has been a significant user of the road since it was constructed and 116 years since it opened. Number 6. The Zojila Pass Road is one of the important mountain passes in India. At an elevation of 11,575 feet, 3,528 meters, above the sea level, the pass lies amidlay in the western Himalayan mountain ranges and Srinagar. The Zojila Pass is frequently named as the entrance to Ladakh in Jammu and Kashmir. Lying at an elevation of 3,528 meters, the pass is situated in the principal Himalayan mountain range on the Srinagar-Leh Highway or National Highway. The Zojila Pass is considered as one of the riskiest passes in this area. During and after a storm, the road may be impassable. The road over the pass is termed as the gateway to the majestic Ladakh. It's the lifeline that keeps the people of Ladakh in touch with the rest of the world. Zojila Pass has a remarkable position, bordered by the Kashmir Basin on one side and Dras Basin on the other side. It overlooks snow-covered summits and dense strip of jungles. The pass remains closed half of the year because of intense snowfall and opens in the latter part of the spring season. Number 5. The Siberian Highway connects Magadan and Yakutsk, actually, Nizhny Bestayok on the eastern bank of Lena River at Yakutsk, where the coldest temperature ever recorded outside Antarctica was recorded. It crosses forests, mountains, deserts, and everything in between. This road is extremely dangerous during the winter, which is 10 months long, because the heavy snow, the ice, and an extremely reduced visibility. But in summers, the conditions of the road become extreme. On July and August, the mud is the worst enemy. This road is the only route available to arrive to Yakutsk city. There's no choice. After the rain, it can take 5 hours rather than a few days to drive it. The road gets paralyzed and it's a chaos, with cars being stuck in a 100 km long car lineups. The last 600 miles of the Russian Federal Highway from Moscow City to the Siberian city of Yakutsk is called the Lena. Number 4. The Stelvio Pass is a high mountain pass at an elevation of 9,045 feet above the sea level, located in the Ortler Alps in Italy between Stilfs in South Tyrol and Bormio in the province of Sondrio. It's one of the top 50 highest mountain roads in Europe. It's one of the most magnificent road pass in Europe. Several accidents have already taken place in this high-altitude road, especially among people who underrate the difficulty involved in traversing its zigzag path. This road is very exciting and sometimes very exposed and unsecured driveway and innumerable twists and turns. This road is usually open from June to September, but it can be closed any time when the access is not cleared of snow. The original road was built in 1820–25 by the Austrian Empire to connect the former Austrian province of Lombardia with the rest of Austria, covering a climb of 1,871 meters. Since then, the route has changed. Number 3. It begins at 15,400 feet and for an estimated 300 people a year ends in the loss of their life, yet Bolivia's North Yungas Road, better known as the Death Road, is among the nation's biggest drawcards for thrill-seeking tourists. The road's infamous moniker was confirmed in 1994 when Inter-American Development Bank proclaimed it was the world's most dangerous road. The organization conducted a study and discovered 200 to 300 people were dying on the road per year. The former world's most dangerous road climbs up a famous Bolivian mountain pass, La Cumbre, at an elevation of 4,650 meters, 15,260 feet, above the sea level. This road was legendary for its extreme danger. Based on the ratio of death per mile, on an average, 26 vehicles plummet over the edge each year, claiming more than 100 lives. The estimation is that 200 to 300 travelers were killed yearly along the road. The dangerousness gave this road great notoriety and enticed people seeking their adrenaline-lined hearts. Between buses, cars, trucks, and even bicycles, it seems that nobody was deemed safe on this stretch of continuous downhill riding with only one short uphill section. Number 2. The Sichuan-Tibet Highway is a high-elevation road that begins in Chengdu of Sichuan on the east and ends at Lhasa in Tibet on the west. The road is 2,142 kilometers long. The Sichuan-Tibet Highway, originally called the Kangding-Tibet Highway, takes you through vast, open landscapes with majestic peaks vaulting skyward. Sichuan-Tibet Highway traverses 14 high mountains which average 4,000–5,000 meter, spans dozens of famous rivers like Dadu River, Jinsha River, Lansang River, and Zhejiang, and at last crosses primeval forest and numerous dangerous sections. Make sure you get your vehicle and yourself well prepared before driving this road. The construction of the highway began in April 1950, and on December 25, 1954, it was open. Sichuan-Tibet Highway is the most dangerous but most beautiful road route. Number 1. Chile and Argentina share more than 5,000 miles of border, most of them drawn on the imposing peaks of the Andes. With over 40 border crossings between the two countries spread over the mountains. It's one of the most scenic drives in the world. Due to the unique location and the climb in elevation over thousands of feet, the pass reaches an elevation of 10,521 feet above the sea level. The border is actually a tunnel, the Cristo Redentor Tunnel, located at 3,209 meter altitude and with 3,080 meters long, of which 1,564 are in Chilean territory and 1,516 in the Argentine side. Opened in 1980, the tunnel is at an elevation of 3,175 meter and the path can be closed during winter because of heavy snows blocking both ends and the threat of rockfall. The most scenic part of the road is a short section known as Los Caracolas on the Chilean side. However, this road is maintained pretty regularly and does not have a morbid accident record. Cargo trucks and even double-decker tourist buses travel through the road on a daily basis, and it's quite an experience. Despite the fact that it's one of the most challenging roads in the world, the Los Caracolas Pass has a strong safety record.